Hi everyone! In this video, we will be doing a sound test on the all-new Mazda 3 hatchback. I own a 2020 Mazda3 Sportback Speed. It's the top-of-the-line trim of the hatchback. In our country, the Philippines, we call the hatchback a Sportback, so please don't go confusing yourselves between the two. We use it interchangeably. We're gonna have three sections in this video. First is to discuss the overview of the car audio system and audio settings. Second is to talk about the recording process for the sound test. Lastly, a third is the actual sound test itself. I'll be putting timestamps in the description below, so please watch whichever you desire. If you find this video as helpful and educational, please go ahead and hit that like button and do subscribe to my channel as well. Well then, let's get started. Alright, so let's talk about the audio system of the all-new Mazda 3 2020 model of the hatchback. It comes with the new 12-speaker premium Bose sound system along with the popular Bose DSP, or digital signal processing techniques, that you can see on the screen. The system would only be available with the premium package and up. In my case, I got the top-of-the-line one, we call it Speed, which has the beautiful red leather interior, the aerodynamic body kit that is made in Japan, and of course this stellar sound system that we're talking about. Bose, in partnership with Mazda, has completely redesigned and re-engineered their system for this all-new Mazda 3, which coincidentally is also a complete redesign and re-engineering of the vehicle. The main thing about it is the concept of bass match, wherein Bose has relocated the woofers out of the doors into the front cowl side locations. The objective of this is to improve low frequency response by minimizing buzz and rattle to really envelop the driver and passengers with high quality bass. That is, powerful, clean, tight, without being boomy and distorted. Here's the location of the 12 speakers inside the 2020 Mazda 3 Sportback. Alright, so as you can see, you've got your center speaker here, your front left and right tweeters, your front left and right side door speakers. Now, here are the front left and right cowl side speakers. So conventionally, these are on the side doors. So with bass match, this is their theory. They put it in the cowl side locations. And as you can see, there's really no area anymore for a woofer to be placed on the door. So that's really, with the new design of the vehicle, it's not gonna be able to take that in. Alright, on the rear row, or passenger seats, you've got your rear left and right side door speakers. You've also got your rear left or rear diagonal left and right speakers. So as you can see, wherever you sit on the car, driver seat, front passenger seat, or in the rear row, you will be really surrounded by speakers, high performance speakers that is, and it's really a great premium sound experience. And at the back, of course, there's going to be your subwoofer. It's just underneath that trunk mat. So now let's get inside the vehicle so I could walk you guys through with the audio settings and the head unit. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive through the audio settings of the all-new Mazda 3 hatchback. So we're currently at the home section here. By the way, this is an all-new infotainment system. At this time of recording, only the all-new Mazda 3 and the new CX-30 has this operating system and infotainment system. So let's go to settings, sound settings, audio settings. Alright, so I'm gonna walk you guys through on each of these settings, so it might help you tweak and find the sweet spot that's gonna work for you. So you have an adjustment for bass and treble only. So bass for your low frequency sounds, treble for your high frequency sound, so it's two bands adjustments only. Alright. You can also modify the listening position, whether you want it to be the sound is focused only on the driver's seat, or you want it to be focused on all seats. What that is that all speakers are going to be working, all speakers are going to be excited, so wherever you sit in the car, you would hear exactly the same thing. Whereas if it's in driver's seat, the speakers are just going to operate so that the sound would just be focused on the driver's seat. It's just, the energy is just focused there, right? Next would be, the basics, fader, balance, left or right. Bose stereo mode, I technically do not know the difference between the two. I would say just take a look at the graphic here on the right. You would see their graphic when I change settings there. I haven't been able to find an official documentation here from Bose on what the Bose stereo mode is all about, but to me, I personally like the sound of standard better over linear. You can see that all speakers are producing more sound based on the graphic. Alright, so let's leave it at that. Bose center point is Bose's digital signal processing technique, which would allow you to have a surround sound effect. So it uses a certain algorithm so that the stereo sound would be a surround sound, a virtual surround sound, right? So if you want that effect to your audio playback inside the car, you might want to turn this on. I find 3 as exaggerated, so yeah, you might want to start with 1 or 2 and take it from there. Next would be Bose Audio Pilot. This one is an automatic volume control, so I believe there's a mic inside the cabin which monitors the noise as compared to the audio signal, which is your music. So it compensates for the noise that's the result of road, speed, basically anything that would generate noise as opposed to music. So it's keeping that at bay, in check, so it's going to automatically adjust the volume to compensate for that noise. So I just want a subtle change in volume automatically, so I just set it to 1. And I believe that's the last one. So those are all your settings for the all-new Mazda 3. These are amazing DSP techniques by Bose incorporated in this vehicle. It's really a good sound at this price point. 1.5 million pesos, Philippine pesos, or that's about roughly 30 to 31,000 US dollars. So at a vehicle at this price point, I think it's already good. It's a high performer at that level. Now let's talk about how we are going to be doing the recording for the sound test. I will use my Zoom H1n handy recorder to record the audio. It's a very budget-friendly handy recorder which delivers professional quality audio. In fact, all of the sounds that you guys are hearing are recorded with this. So we won't be just using an integrated microphone, whether it's on the camera or on the phone. We have a dedicated gear to record audio. As for the settings, I have recorded this to record in a lossless format. This one uses wave. Sampling rate is set to 96 kHz. Bit depth is set to 24 bits. I will also make sure that the gain staging is done correctly. That means that the input signal would just peak at around -12 dB before recording. This leaves us with a good amount of headroom for dynamic range. The volume of the head unit will remain constant at 20, which is my normal listening volume, while the gain of the Zoom H1n would also be the same on all sound test recordings. Lastly, perhaps the most important part of recording are mic placement and orientation. As you can see on the screen, this pair has a cardioid or unidirectional microphones in an XY configuration. It will effectively capture the sounds to its left or right, and there's also a good overlap for coverage in the middle. So as you can see, right mic captures right hand side sounds and left mic captures left side sounds. This is the overlap in the middle. So this is what you call the polar pattern of a microphone. It basically shows you which sounds would be transceived by your microphones. So as you can see here, you're forming a right angle or 90 degrees. So this is what you call the mutual angle. So if you have a pair of microphones, you set it up this way with this angle in the middle, you would get this kind of radiation or polar pattern. Alright, so in terms of post-processing, my DAW or digital audio workstation is Reaper. I will not add any post-processing or effects on the recorded audio files for the sound test, except maximizing the gain to the maximum possible value while avoiding clipping. This way it's gonna be audible to everyone once it's been uploaded to YouTube. Now, off to the main event. Hey everybody, we are at the studio and we've got Reaper on the screen. And we will be starting the sound test now. Basically, we have 7 tracks which will run a minute each. All tracks are of different genres. All of these were recorded using the Zoom H1n handy recorder, as discussed previously. Audio source in the vehicle was USB. All files are lossless, which means perfect quality. I'd like to give the audience as much idea as I could give as to how the car audio system sounds like across the board. Please use a decent pair of headphones and or speakers, preferably Studio Gears which has a flat response, so you would hear everything without any bias to certain frequencies. I hope that this would help set the expectations of everyone in terms of car audio, especially if they are aiming to buy this vehicle. I'm also hoping that the other car audio reviewers or testers could follow suit to this methodology. Again, there were no effects added to these tracks, no noise reduction, no equalization, no compression, no delay, and no reverb, and all that kind of jazz. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the listening experience. Thanks everybody.
The night smells like December and we're deep undercover, seeking out what could be better than all the money in the world. And I'm watching you and I'm waiting for the perfect time to start participating, and you signal me lucky for you, that's what I like.